In the next hour, there is an online community meeting about the court-ordered federal oversight of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. This is a virtual follow-up after this forum 6 months ago where a lot of people showed up. They voiced strong opinions against the ongoing oversight. This oversight has been in place more than 13 years, costing taxpayers more than $100 million.
Sheriff Jerry Sheridan has a lot of people in his corner pushing to put an end to it, and now they are taking the fight to Congress. Arizona's Family Investigates has been following the controversy closely. Amy Cutler's here with a look at a new bill that's now being proposed.
Yeah, this is a really big development. It is called the Monitor Accountability Act of 2026. It would impact how federal monitors are used in oversight cases moving forward. If passed, it would also lead to some big changes for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Over the last year, the calls for ending federal oversight of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office have been growing. Leaders at the federal, state, and local level have been speaking out. The Department of Justice even calling for it to end. But the ACLU, which represents the plaintiffs in the case and the federal judge overseeing it, have not been moved. Now an Arizona congressman is introducing what he calls the Monitor Accountability Act.
It just seems to me like it's time to make a change here, both monitor and judge.
Congressman Andy Biggs introduced the bill. Back in February, he chaired a field hearing in Phoenix, highlighting concerns regarding oversight.
They had complied for a long time.
The monitor, Robert Warshaw, and his team were appointed by a federal judge to oversee substantial court-ordered reforms. It came after the department under then-Sheriff Joe Arpaio was found to have racially profiled Latino drivers. While MCSO has made progress, disparities in traffic stops remain. There's also a big backlog on internal investigations.
You know, the court in this particular case ordered some things to be done. And that's what we should be looking at. Did they perform? And then you need to leave.
If passed, here's how that bill would work. First, on fees, monitors would be encouraged to employ pro bono time or reduced rates. Records show as of December, the monitoring team overseeing MCSO has been paid more than $32 million. It would also ban a monitor from working for more than one department at a time. That appointment can't exceed 5 years, and they can't be reappointed. The bill would also mean after 6 years, a case gets transferred to another judge. Finally, it includes provisions for cases older than 6 years, meaning it would apply to MCSO. If passed, a new monitor would be appointed, and it would be transferred to a new judge within a year. Now, important to note, Biggs is running for governor. His opponent in the Republican primary, Congressman David Schweikert, declined our interview request, releasing a statement saying, "At this point, I'll support any reasonable legislation that brings oversight of MCSO to an end."
So this bill appears to be making progress. It made it out of committee. Does it look like it has enough support to actually pass?
Yeah, so we were trying to figure that out all day. We reached out to our entire congressional delegation for Arizona. It appears that Biggs hasn't reached out or shared this legislation with them just yet, but Biggs points out it made it out of committee, and he says he is confident it will make it to the full House for a vote by late May.
Not just teeth for the monitor, which has always been a point of contention, but also for the judge, who in this case, there have been allegations of his personal bias. So 5 years, 6 years. We'll see what comes of that. Amy, a lot of people will be watching tonight, and we'll have a full update later.